In the beginning, there was nothing. No light, no darkness, no matter. There was only the void. The void would remain empty until a cosmic heartbeat echoed through its stillness, and lifeblood pumped and stretched to the edges of nothing. This was the nexus of the first god. Throughout infinity, mortals have given him many names. The Great Old One, the Father of all, the Dying God. But we know his true name, Chthon. It is said that Chthon so cherished life that he wished to share it, so he fragmented his essence and weighed it evenly between his hands. With one hand, he created the primordials, his children, and in the other, the stars, so they would never know the maddening emptiness of the void. Among his children were Olzuin, a god of healing and ceremonies, Korvak, the eldritch son, and Empyreon, Chthon's favorite child. In time, the primordials grew greedy and dissatisfied. They wanted more power. They wanted servants to exact their will. They wanted worshippers to adore and to fear them. In an act of desperation and betrayal, the primordials banded together to strike down their father and take his blood for their own. In his last moments, among the warmth of the starlight he so lovingly strewn across the sky, surrounded by his children he so adored, Chthon saw Empyreon drive his heavenly spear through his body, shattering him into millions of pieces. And so, Chthon's blood spilled and drenched the heavens while his broken essence fell deeper into the lonely void. Above, the primordial gods got to work, spinning the spilled blood into creation, making entire planes of existence and the beasts that inhabit them. After that, they forged wretched facsimiles who were so weak and so fragile they had no choice but to worship, and they called them mankind. Then they created the perfect servants, immortal, smart, and capable, but unable to disobey, and they called them the Ethereals. Over time, some gods became complacent, while others were tempted by the unstable power of the void. Whether by guilt or by fear, some gods stood opposed to the void, condemning all who would drink of its power. This led to the conflict known only as the War of the Gods. On one side stood hordes of horrifying creatures birthed by Chthon's now twisted and broken visage and the gods who were seduced by the void, while the others were primordial beings led by Empyreon, with an army of ethereals who stood fast against the void's influence. This conflict raged on for an eternity, but eventually, the endless stream of Chthonians proved to be too much, and Empyreon and the ethereals were overwhelmed. The primordial beings took this opportunity to flee, leaving their mortal followers confused and abandoned. In a twist of cruelty or irony, Chthon subjected the ethereals to the same fate he suffered so long ago, and they were broken down to their essence and exiled to a realm of nothingness to spend eternity. There, in the Aether, they bided their time, knowing that, while they lost the battle, the war must rage on. The now rudderless mortals sought meaning and guidance, but in the void, they found absolution. They called themselves the Cult of Chthon, and they started in earnest the arduous task of reclaiming the blood so selfishly hewn from the Old One, now pumping in their very veins, and in that blood they would find power enough to connect the mortal plane to the void, allowing the Chthonics to hunt on behalf of their master. Little did they know that the hubris of other men would open a gate to the Aether, allowing their mortal enemies to walk free once more. The stage was set for the next battle of their endless war, and mortals would be caught in the middle.